This is a modern truck. This is also a modern truck in 1994.
That doesn't make sense.
America is the land of the pickup truck, but don't just take my word for it, because the top 3 best-selling vehicles in 2021 were the
I hate this channel.
No! No!
F-Series, the Ram pickup, and the Chevy Silverado. People can't quite seem to get enough of them around here, and why shouldn't they? They drive just as nicely as cars, with the added practicality and the ability to go anywhere and use it to haul larger cargo if needed.
Well, duh.
But it hasn't always been this way. See, back in the late 80s and early 90s, Dodge was hurting badly with their pickup sales, so they decided to push the envelope with redesigning their newest flagship Wonder Child. Funny enough though, I don't think they quite understood the assignment, because the first concept was thrown out by the, at the time, chief designer Philip E. Payne for, quote, looking like nothing more than a rehash of everyone else's truck. Yikes. And understandably so. Look at that thing. It's fucking hideous.
Oh! Ew! Dude! What the fuck?
After some much needed revision, they landed on the final iteration with a much more quote-unquote macho design, taking inspiration from the big rig long nose and a flat grille, which if you put that to a person sounds very unflattering, but on a truck it's great. At the time it was a concept thought to be relatively risky, but ultimately well received, with a spike of sales and being named Truck of the Year in 1994 by Motor Trend.
I'm so fresh you can suck my...
The underdog Dodge Ram sales skyrocketed to over 4,000 units for several years, with now softer suspension, a roomier ergonomic cabin,
so much extra space in our room to do activities,
updated safety features, and an overall driving experience closer to the average sedan, whereas the competitors still had to rely on gimmicks during their own redesigns for what now felt like an old dated tool.
Man, this new Pringles flavor f***ing sucks.
So if you're still not driving a Chevy, what are you waiting for?
In its few years of fame, the truck would also appear as a hero vehicle in the 1996 cult classic Twister,
I gotta go, Julia, we got cows.
uniquely also showing off a new V10 engine that would be added to the fleet as a gasoline alternative to the already unstoppable Cummins diesel engine, even if they were backed by some of the debatably worst transmissions ever throughout their production. While Ford and Chevy still maintained a comfortable lead on Dodge in terms of sales, they could clearly recognize that the spike in popularity was closing the gap and probably the way to go,
I think we all know where this is going, so let's just skip to the end.
leading them to follow similar redesigns of their more streamlined styling and abandoning the idea that a truck is just a tool and adopting more of the idea to make it more commuter friendly. Ford coming out with their next generation in 97,
Ford Country.
and Chevy in 99. Come the turn of the century, America had a completely new vision of pickup trucks that were now featuring much more comfortable, quiet rides packed with amenities and features, a vision that still holds up to this day, every year doubling down on that idea.
Are you serious?
Nowadays, surveys show that less than a quarter of all trucks purchased haul items more than once a year, and even less than that end up off-road more than once a year, if ever. So they're basically status symbols. So whether you call it Lazarus' resurrection or the beginning and the end, you can definitely trace it back to this moment in time. What I would like to know, however, is what is your favorite vehicle or automotive moment in history and what you'd like to hear about next. Let me know in the comments. If you learned something new or just generally enjoying these so far, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell icon so you know when I upload. Link to Patreon in the description if you'd like to support the channel, but most importantly, thank you so much for watching, and as always, drive safe, stay curious, and have a wonderful day.